It's wonderful to have everybody here. We've got people from all over the country who have come in for this today, and we're very excited that you're here. And thank you for coming in and making this day special for our inductees. This time I'm going to turn it over to Mr. Gary Minnick, the principal of Boaz High School, and then I'll come back with a few more comments.
Good morning. Definitely want to welcome everyone here, and I want to say as principal, welcome. We're proud of what you have accomplished. It's entirely appropriate for a high school to honor alumni who have done and accomplished distinguished things in their careers. So we're proud to have this moment to have the inaugural induction, and we thank you for being willing to participate, and it is our privilege to honor you today. It's not my point today to put a lot of focus on the school other than to say this: we're in a transition here where we're transitioning from more of a traditional high school to one that we call an academy structure where we have career pathways. And as we make a transition, one of the things that we have intentionally endeavored not to lose is the tradition that is Boaz. And we've taken some specific actions to do that. If you look in our office, you'll see some shadow boxes that feature old Letterman's jackets, old sweaters, those kinds of things. We have one with a mortarboard and diploma tassels from 6 different decades. And what we want to do with that is to call our students to remember the past and the tradition. We do have, as much as it is entirely appropriate for us to honor you for all you've accomplished, I have to let you in on a secret. We do have an ulterior motive, and that is that we want your legacy to extend again to our students. We want them to see today, as part of our connecting to the past, connecting to the traditions, we want to hold up what distinguished alumni have done in order to call our current students to that level of achievement. So I thank you for being here on behalf of our students, and you're being here today and accepting this honor and being able to intermingle, commingle with our students throughout the day at various times is going to mean a lot to us in transmitting the values and the determination and the persistence that you have shown in your career and giving that same determination to our students. So thank you for your example in life, and then as they see what you have accomplished, our hope is that a long time from now, some of our current students will be accepting a similar opportunity and honor. So thank you for coming, and welcome.
Just a few housekeeping things before we get started today. If you need to use the restroom or need water other than what's on your table, right through the exit to your left, right over there, the restrooms are to your right. Across the hall from those restrooms are the plaques for those Boaz High School graduates who have been inducted into the Marshall County Sports Hall of Fame. So I would invite you to take a look at those if you need to go to the restroom, or when we transfer over to the auditorium in a little bit later on. The idea for this Wall of Fame really was born about 3 years ago in the Boaz High School office when I had just been hired here as assistant principal, and Miss Ashley Walls, who is sitting here, was also an assistant principal here at the time. She left here about 2 weeks later to be a principal somewhere, but in the system. But that idea was kind of born in the office that day. And so over the course of 3 years, the idea is coming to fruition today with this class who's being inducted. So how did that happen? Well, over the past year and a half, the Alabama State Department of Education has commanded school systems to put in what they call learning supports. And for us, one of our learning supports is the Boaz High School Distinguished Alumni Wall of Fame. Because, as Mr. Minnick has already mentioned, we want our alumni, our distinguished alumni, to be able to intermingle and mix with our students. For the only reason to say that, hey, I graduated from Boaz High School, you're going to graduate from Boaz High School, and you too can do great things in this world. That is what the Boaz High School Wall of Fame is all about. Now, an ancillary to that is that we honor you as inductees. But our main focus is for you to have an impact on our students today and going forward, because our students are going to walk over the brick pavers that you saw when you walked in for years to come. And they're going to wonder who those are. Your plaques are hanging up in our auditorium. They're going to be able to read about you. So long after you're gone, your legacy will remain. We're thankful for that, and we're going to honor you in that way today. I have some special thanks that I want to hand out today. You've seen already some students in white jackets who've been walking around, and they'll be serving you today. That is the Boaz High School culinary team, and they've prepared this entire meal. They've been working on it for a while, but they're very excited about getting to serve this group. This is really, I guess you could say, their second big event that they've been able to cater and serve. And so we're really excited, and we want to thank them. We want to thank Miss April Schrader, who is their teacher. We approached her with this some months ago, and they were very excited about preparing the meal today and serving you. We had two students, Chase Bowen and Blake Cook. They actually graduated last fall, but they came up with this logo design for the Wall of Fame. Blake put it down on paper. Chase put it down on computer, and you see the logo everywhere you look today. It's even up on our message board here. But that logo was designed by Boaz High School students. We're very proud of that. The brick pavers that you saw when you walked in, that you had your picture made with, those were put down by Boaz High School agri-science students. Laid those bricks, figured out the problems with them and how they needed to go down. We're very proud of those students, Jordan Gaskin, Nathan Cornutt, Armando Martinez, and Brady Ellis, and also their teacher, Mr. Joe Milner. We're grateful for the Boaz City Schools Foundation, who have provided the plaques that will be hanging up in Boaz High School and the ones that you're receiving. And just as an aside, I'm going to go ahead and say this. We have a couple of typographical errors on a couple of our plaques, okay? We're going to do our best to get those replaced to those whose are messed up, all right? And I just wanted to put that out there at the start. We want to thank Jerry Battles from Twilight Monument Company. He donated the silver pavers out there that say Boaz High School Walk of Fame. We appreciate him doing that. Ryan Stevens from Boaz City Schools Technology is running our sound and video today. We appreciate his time to do that. And I want to say a thank you to two men who are not here today. They're actually at another Wall of Fame induction luncheon over in Albertville, and that is Dr. Al Ratcliffe and Mr. Paul Maccabee. They helped us a great deal getting this off the ground, because Albertville High School has been doing a Wall of Fame for several years now, and they gave us quite a bit of counsel and quite a bit of advice about how to go about doing this. I'm very thankful for the time that they spent showing us around theirs, sending us things that might be helpful to us, and also other people on their committee. I also want to thank our selection committee, which is anonymous. Now, all of our selection committee is here today, but I'm not going to point any of them out, okay? Because we want them to remain anonymous, but they've gone above and beyond anything that I could ever imagine to put this luncheon together and this entire day together and the other things that you've already seen. I want to recognize some people. Mayor Tim Walker, City of Boaz, is here. Councilman Bubba Riddle from Boaz City Council. We are grateful that you two have come today. I want to introduce Dr. Mark Isley, Superintendent of Boaz City Schools. He'll be coming up in just a second. Mr. Tim Witt, who is on the Boaz City Board of Education. And then Rhonda Smith, who is on the Boaz City Board of Education, is also here. We have Ms. Becky Ray, Ms. Margaret Maston, who are central office employees, who are with us also this morning. We appreciate them being here. And also Mr. Alan Johnson, who is here, Ms. Ashley Walls in our central office as well. So we appreciate all of you being here. I also want to recognize some very special people who are here. Right back here at this table, you saw them when you came in, our class presidents for Boaz High School, Ms. Shayla Carroll, president of the senior class. I want you to stand up, please. Mr. Luke Strond, president of the junior class. Ms. Anna Kate Beck, president of the sophomore class. Our president of the freshman class, Jaden Bobo, could not be here. She is gone with volleyball today to play in the Super Regional. Mr. Logan Walls, who is the SGA president at Boaz Middle School. We're very pleased that they were able to join us today. Just want to give you some process of how things are going to work today. We're about to enjoy the meal that our culinary students will put before us. As we begin to eat dessert, we're going to start the videos, okay, which will be played right up here. Each inductee has a biographical video that we put together. I think they're well done, and I hope you think they're well done as well. When your video is over, we would like for you to come up, receive your plaque, and we've got a couple of other things we're going to give you. You're going to get your parking pass for tonight and your tickets for the ball game tonight, and also have 2 DVDs that we will be giving you that your bio is on. In addition to that, I will be sending you via mail a video of this luncheon today. It will have these videos patched into them. Mr. Mike Harden is videoing from Horizon Communication. We appreciate him being here. He does a great job for Boaz High School, partnering with us in our multimedia team, and so we will be sending you those via mail when we get those completed. So when your video's over, come up. Dr. Isley and Ms. Walls will give you your plaque. We want to have a photo op, let you have your picture made receiving that, and then we would like for you to give a 5-minute acceptance speech, okay? Now, when I say 5 minutes, that's what I mean, okay? No more than 5 minutes. If you want to get up here and speak 30 seconds, more power to you. But if you speak more than 5 minutes, I'm going to tap you on the shoulder, okay? And the reason is, in all seriousness, we are on a tight time frame. We're going to go to the auditorium after this. We're to be in there with all the students at 1 o'clock. We're going to show your videos to our students. And then Mr. Jim Bishop is going to speak to our student body for a few minutes. And then after that, we're going to go to the Boaz High School pep rally, and I'm sure it'll be the first pep rally that some of you have been to in a long, long time. So that will be coming after the student assembly. So that's what we're going to do today. It's going to be a lot of jam-packed stuff into about 4 hours, but that's what we wanted to do, okay? At the end today, I'll tell you a little bit about how we're going to do the football game recognition. But at this time, I'd like to turn it over to Dr. Mark Isley, Superintendent of Boaz City Schools.
I'm an expressive superintendent, so what that means is I like to talk, but I only have about 30 seconds. So you have 5 minutes. That's all I need. That's all I need. I only have 20 now. 18, 17. Let me get to it. Our mission is an expectation of excellence every day by everyone. We even have an E4 model. And you can have a mission, you can write it down. But what's important today when you leave is, did you see it? Did you feel it? Is it real? And you will determine that today. I appreciate you coming back home, and God bless you.
This time I'm going to bring up Mr. Tim Witt, Boaz City Board of Education, and he will give our invocation. And then when the invocation is complete, we will enjoy the meal.
Before I give our invocation, I want to recognize 2 people in their modesty that have not mentioned their names. All this wouldn't be possible without these 2 folks sitting right here. Ashley Walls with the foresight to plan this, and Patrick as an ex officio member of the committee. And he talked about the videos. He spent a lot of time doing those videos. So let's give these 2 a hand. Pray with me, please. Father, we thank you for this day, and we thank you for this city we live in, and this school system that our children are allowed to go to. Father, we thank you for the lives of the people that we're recognizing today. Father, thank you for what they've done as an example to show our students what's possible with hard work and the desire to succeed. Father, we ask you to bless our town, bless our school system, bless the food to the nourish for our body. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen.
All right, we are going to start with inductee Jim Bishop.
Ladies and gentlemen, inaugural class inductee, Mr. Jim Bishop. Jim Bishop was born on January 24, 1949, at the Sand Mountain Infirmary in Albertville. His parents, Noel and Billy Bishop, lived on a farm north of Douglas. Jim has an older brother, Richard, and two younger sisters, Sherry and Shirley. As a youngster, Jim learned a solid work ethic from his parents as he worked on the farm. Involved in the Boy Scouts, Jim attained his Eagle Scout Award as a member of Troop Number 278 in Douglas. Jim began to become interested in sports, and when he got to 7th grade, his family moved to Boaz because Douglas High School did not have a football team at the time. While at Boaz High School, Jim excelled in 4 sports. He threw shot put on the track team and was team captain in football, baseball, and basketball. He also was an outstanding leader in the school. He was president of the senior class, science club, and key club. Jim racked up all Marshall County, all region, and all area awards in multiple sports and played in the state all-star baseball game. His calling card became football, and colleges began to take notice. Jim graduated from Boaz High School in 1967. Just a few months after graduating from Boaz High, Jim married his high school sweetheart, the former Jane Kilpatrick, on October 20th, 1968. He was offered and accepted a football scholarship to Tennessee Tech University in Cookeville, Tennessee. He had a stellar career playing for the Golden Eagles, including honorable mention All-American honors in 1970 as a tight end. Jim was a 4-year letterman and was elected captain his senior year. As an All-Ohio Valley Conference selection, Jim was chosen to play in the American Bowl All-Star Game. He also played baseball for a year at TTU and boasted a 6-2 record on the mound. Jim graduated from Tennessee Tech in 1971 with a degree in health and physical education. His tremendous career at Tennessee Tech had gotten the attention of NFL scouts. Jim was drafted in the 5th round of the 1971 NFL Draft by the San Diego Chargers, making him the first Boaz High School graduate to play professional football. He also spent time with the Kansas City Chiefs and Houston Oilers. In 1974, Jim signed to play with the Birmingham Americans of the World Football League. The Americans defeated the Florida Blazers to win the inaugural World Bowl championship. The next year, Jim suited up for the Birmingham Vulcans, which had replaced the Americans as the Birmingham franchise in the WFL. After retiring from professional football, Jim entered the automobile business. He spent a number of years selling cars in Boaz. Then in 1983, he became the owner and president of Jim Bishop Chevrolet in Tuscumbia, Alabama. The dealership added Oldsmobile, GMC, and Toyota to the fleet over the next few years. Jim enjoyed great success in the dealership, and his business was awarded the prestigious J.D. Power Customer Satisfaction Award. Jim has served his community in many ways over the years. He coached youth baseball and basketball in Muscle Shoals and Boaz. He has served on the board of directors of the Alabama Car Dealers Association and First Southern Bank. He was president of the Muscle Shoals Athletic Booster Club for 7 years and has been involved with the Muscle Shoals High School Education Foundation. He also has provided cars for the University of Alabama, Auburn University, and the University of North Alabama. Jim and Jane are parents to 2 sons, Brad and Jason Bishop, and 1 daughter, Megan Bishop Puckett. They have 7 grandchildren, Zach, Jeb, Brant, Kendall, and Will Bishop, Anderson and Ava Jane Puckett, and Corey Ehrlich. Ladies and gentlemen, Boaz High School Wall of Fame Class of 2015 inductee, Mr. Jim Bishop.
I only have 30 seconds, right?
No, you have more than that.
No, it's indeed an honor to be here today, and I would like to thank Boaz High School and the committee who put this event together. Thank you so much for including me. I'm very humble of this induction, and to the other members of this inaugural induction group, I'd like to say congratulations to you. I feel honored to be a part of this first Wall of Fame class. I have a lot of people to thank over my years. Number one, God, for looking over me as a person and looking over my family. Number two, my parents, who taught me to be humble and have a work ethic and let me know that I could achieve any goal that I wanted to achieve. To my wife, Jane, she's always been my biggest fan. She's always been my support. And we've been married 47 years this past Tuesday. We have 3 wonderful children. We have 8 grandkids. And that's what cranks my tractor every morning and has for the last 47 years. I have to get up and get going so I can make a better life for them than what I had when I was coming up. I want to introduce my family because that's the most important part of my life. Number one, my wife, Jane. My son, Brad, and his wife, Misha, son, Will, and they have 2 children that are not here, Kendall and Brant. Megan, my daughter, her husband, Andy, and her 2 children could not attend today. And Zach, my grandson, and his dad, Jason, and Jeb could not attend today. But that's been my life, and it's been a wonderful, wonderful journey. I would like to thank my teachers, my coaches, my scout leaders for pushing me to achieve things that I didn't think I could achieve. I also like to thank Gary and Loretta Kilpatrick, Horace Kilpatrick, for having the confidence in me and being an investor in a business with me that made a wonderful life for my family. I accept this honor with great pride and gratitude, and thank you very much. And go Pirates!
Hey folks, Tim Witt at Sand Mountain Toyota. Our goal is to be Sand Mountain's pre-owned vehicle destination. We strive to keep vehicles for every budget, and all of our vehicles go through a strict multi-point inspection by our award-winning service department. And don't forget, we're paying top dollar for your vehicle. We want to buy your vehicle. Sand Mountain Toyota, Highway 431 Albertville, or sandmountaintoyota.com.
Your local Foodland Market. Your store for everyday low prices and weekly specials with savings on every aisle and friendly customer service throughout the store. We sell only the best USDA inspected meats. Our trained meat cutters offer fresh cut meats to your specification. Our fruits and vegetables are always fresh, quality and variety you deserve every day. Your local Foodland Market, where savings plus service plus selection equals satisfaction.
Foodland, your football tailgating headquarters.
Screwdriver.
Screwdriver.
Pliers.
Pliers.
Phone. Care can be distracting.
Phone.
That's why our new Whirlpool Smart Range lets you care smarter with control from anywhere. So life doesn't revolve around your range.
Give me that Phillips screwdriver, would you, kiddo?
Every day, care. Whirlpool.
Visit the helpful, knowledgeable staff at Bond's Appliance on Gunner Avenue in Gunnersville.
Since 1952, Wilkes Tire and Battery Service in Albertville has been the best place to take your vehicle for service you can trust. The Wilkes family takes pride in carrying on a tradition of providing great service, working with integrity, and giving back to the community. For tires, batteries, auto services, and more, choose people you can trust. At Wilkes Tire and Battery Service, we get you started and keep you going.
Ladies and gentlemen, inaugural class inductee, Lieutenant Colonel Scott Brannon. Scott Brannon was born on August 17, 1971, to Charles and Jimmy Sue Brannon of Boaz. Scott participated in youth sports through the Boaz Recreation Center as a youngster. His small-town roots, his participation in athletics, and his father laid the foundation for his life. Through these, he learned hard work, sacrifice, and teamwork. Scott entered Boaz High School in the fall of 1985 and was heavily involved in school activities. He was a member of the National Honor Society, Mu Alpha Theta, Junior Civitans, the math team, and student council. He also played football and baseball. He graduated from Boaz High in 1989. After graduation, Scott received a scholarship to Jacksonville State University. He graduated with 2 degrees from JSU. In 1992, he earned a Bachelor of Science degree in Criminal Justice with a minor in Forensic Science. In 1993, he graduated magna cum laude with a Bachelor of Art in Political Science. In the summer of 1993, he married the love of his life and his high school sweetheart, the former Stephanie Gentry. In 1996, Scott enlisted in the United States Army as a signal intelligence analyst and linguist in the Military Intelligence Branch and served with the 10th Mountain Division Light in Fort Drum, New York. He was selected to attend the Officer Candidate School and was commissioned in 1999 as an infantry officer. As the company executive officer of the historic Audie Murphy Company in 2001, Scott planned and led the company's no-notice deployment after 9/11 in support of Operation Noble Eagle to secure the weapons at Anniston Army Depot. Continuing to lead his company, he planned and led their deployment in 2002 to Kuwait in support of Operation Desert Spring. During the initial ground war of Operation Iraqi Freedom, he was awarded the Bronze Star Medal with Valor Device for his heroism in connection with military operations against a hostile force. His courage under fire inspired his team on the battlefield as they were the spearhead into Baghdad, Iraq. In 2007, Lieutenant Colonel Brannon was assigned to the Ranger Training Brigade in Fort Benning, Georgia. He served 2 years as a company commander. As a battalion operations officer as part of the 82nd Airborne Division based in Fort Bragg, North Carolina, Brannon deployed in support of Operation Enduring Freedom 9 and 10. In October 2010, he was selected over all other majors to plan, coordinate, execute, and facilitate training, deployment, and mission command for the 4,800 soldiers in support of Operation Enduring Freedom 12. Lieutenant Colonel Brannon is currently serving as the Senior Commander of Live Fire Division in Fort Polk, Louisiana. And in May 2016, he will be taking battalion command of the 507th Parachute Infantry Regiment at Fort Benning. Lieutenant Colonel Brannon has completed and/or graduated from Ranger School, Airborne School, Jumpmaster School, Pathfinder School, Air Assault School, the Bradley's Leaders Course, Infantry Officer Basic Course, Maneuver Captain's Career Course, Combined Arms and Services Staff School, and the Command and General Staff College. His awards and decorations include the Expert Infantryman's Badge, Combat Infantryman's Badge, 1 Bronze Star with Valor Device, 3 Bronze Stars, 3 Meritorious Service Medals, 6 Army Accommodation Medals, 8 Army Achievement Medals, the Presidential Unit Citation, the Valoris Units Award, 2 Meritorious Unit Citations, the Army Good Conduct Medal, the National Defense Service Medal, the Armed Forces Expeditionary Medal, the Afghanistan Campaign Medal with 3 Campaign Stars, the Iraqi Campaign Medal with 4 Campaign Stars, the Global War on Terrorism Expeditionary Medal, the Global War on Terrorism Service Medal, the Army Service Ribbon, 3 Overseas Service Ribbons, and the NATO Medal. Scott and Stephanie have 3 children. They have 2 daughters, Samantha and Mackenzie, and 1 son, AJ. The Brannons currently reside in Fort Polk, Louisiana. Ladies and gentlemen, Boaz High School Wall of Fame Class of 2015 inductee, Lieutenant Colonel Scott Brannon.
guess let me start by saying how out of place I am, or how I feel. I look around the room, there's at least 20 people that deserve to be in this more than I do. People that shaped me growing up. I mean, I hadn't seen Mr. Bishop since he was my all-star coach back when I was 10 years old. So, pretty interesting. But I am, you know, this is an awesome experience to be in the room with so many distinguished people from Boaz High School. I'm humbled that the committee even considered me as an inductee. And, you know, so first, thank the committee, thank Patrick, the leadership of the board and BHS for making this happen. This is wonderful. You know, we don't reach success by ourselves. If you don't put a lot of people or have a lot of good people around you, you're not going to make it. You need those people to make you successful. You need them to keep you on the right path. You also need them to slap you around a little bit when you're on the wrong path. So I'm going to thank four people or groups of people that have shaped me throughout my life. So first, I'd like to thank God, who without Him, nothing would be possible. I'd like to thank my wonderful wife, who has given me uncensored guidance, support, and love throughout my life, and has kept me on the right path. Really, she deserves this more than me because she has sacrificed being an Army wife her whole life for mine. I thank you. Next, I'd like to thank my family, my mom, dad, and my in-laws who have shaped me growing up and basically laid that foundation for me as a, to be a productive citizen in the United States. And lastly, I'd like to thank really the community of Boaz. You don't appreciate a small town atmosphere until you have lived in 8 other states, 10 different places in the last 20 years. My oldest, Samantha, has been in 8 school systems. She is very resilient, as all Army kids are. But there's something to be said about being in an atmosphere like Boaz and growing up with the same people and those people that made a difference in your life. I think the other thing you notice is with the teachers, how they affect a lot of who we grew up to be. So just to name a few that have shaped me: Sue Kitchens, Linda Hodges, Miss Hicks, Miss Brasher, Miss Wilson, Mary Henry, John Beck, Randall Morton, and Mary Wilson. And of course, Olin Hayes, he shaped me more with a paddle than anything. He probably gave me more licks than my age, so, and well-deserved. But I turned out pretty good, I think, for that. Again, thank you to the committee, and this is a real honor. Thank y'all.
It's quiet now, but in a few hours the stadium will be full. The players will get dressed and prepare themselves for the challenges that lay ahead. Players dedicating themselves to succeeding on the field. Success begins with having a plan, along with the discipline to execute it. Just like the plan that begins with choosing the right financial partner for life. That's People's Independent Bank, where service, solutions, and smart advice are the foundation of our bank. Isn't it time you win? People's Independent Bank. You'll like banking with us.
Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
With gas prices and inflation at an all-time high, Alexander Ford understands it's tough out there. We do not want to be just some dealership, we want to be your dealership. For all your sales, parts, and service needs, we believe we can save you money. We have new inventory on the way, a fully stocked parts department, and an award-winning service department.
Alexander Ford has been family owned and operated for over 50 years in Boaz. We want to be a part of your family.
Since 1956 and through 3 generations, the C.A. Langford Company has provided crushed limestone, sand, asphalt, and more. From large commercial projects to small jobs and residential needs. For products and services information, call 582-5723 or visit their informative website, calangford.company.
Twilight Monument in Boaz is your hometown dealer, and they'll be there for you when you need them, just as they've done for hundreds of families over the past 37 years. You can depend on Jerry and Maxine Battles at Twilight Monument Company.
Ladies and gentlemen, inaugural class inductee, Mrs. Joni Sanders Yarbrough Bruce. Marilyn Jones Sanders was born on October 26, 1954, to Coyce and Maybelle Sanders. She has a sister, Melanie Sanders Cofield. Joni started to school in Huntsville, and her family moved to Boaz when she was in elementary school. Joni started Boaz High School in the fall of 1968. She was a vital member of the Boaz High School band, where she played trumpet and French horn. She also was a majorette in the marching band. Additionally, Joni was known for doing all her friends' hair throughout high school. After graduation from Boaz High in 1972, Joni spent a year at Snead State Junior College. Deciding she wanted to be a hairdresser, she enrolled in and graduated from the Gaither School of Hair and Fashion in Albertville. Joni opened her own place, the Hairport, in Albertville in 1976. She moved to Atlanta in the early 1980s and continued working in salons there. However, she had the itch to do something more. She took a job with a limousine company, and that turned out to be her foot in the door with film work. She drove some gentlemen around for a week, and it turned out they were film producers. After getting to know them over dinner one night, she got her big break. She received a call to work in the hair department on the film The Bear, starring Gary Busey, about former Alabama head football coach Paul Bear Bryant. It was on that film that Joni met the man who would become her mentor, Philip Ivey, also known as Mr. P. She continued working on other projects in and around Atlanta. Her first job heading the hair department was on the motion picture Cold Sassy Tree, starring Faye Dunaway, Richard Widmark, and Neil Patrick Harris. Immediately following that film, Mr. P asked her to join him to work on the film Driving Miss Daisy, starring Morgan Freeman and Jessica Tandy, a film that won the Academy Award for Best Picture in 1990. In addition to winning that award, the makeup and hair department also won the Academy Award that year. Joni began getting regular work on film crews. She spent time in 1989 in South Dakota, working on the 1991 Best Picture Oscar winner Dances with Wolves, starring Kevin Costner. 4 days before the film wrap, Joni lost her husband Dean, whom she had married in 1981. He passed away on November 19, 1989. She would return to South Dakota for 3 more movies, receiving an Emmy nomination for her work on the film Crazy Horse in 1996. She met director John Frankenheimer and worked on his film Wallace, about former Alabama Governor George Wallace. The movie starred Gary Sinise, Mare Winningham, and Angelina Jolie. In 1997, Joni began working with Academy Award-winning actor Billy Bob Thornton on a movie called Daddy and Them. Since then, she has been Mr. Thornton's hairstylist on all his films and in his music career. Her proudest moment in the movie business was her work on the movie The New World, starring Colin Farrell and directed by Academy Award-nominated director Terrence Malick. Joni's work on the film garnered her Oscar consideration. Joni has even appeared in front of the camera a few times. She starred as a tarot card reader in 2002's Waking Up in Reno and as a waitress in 1992's Love Crimes. Over the years, Joni has worked with many of Hollywood's greatest. The long list includes actors Matt Damon, Bruce Willis, Halle Berry, Charlize Theron, Patrick Swayze, Dennis Quaid, Robert Duvall, Kevin Bacon, Sean Young, Reese Witherspoon, Matthew McConaughey, Morgan Freeman, and Tobey Maguire. She has also worked with directors Ang Lee, Baz Luhrmann, Sam Shepard, and the Coen brothers. She is currently working on a film called Mother's Day, starring Julia Roberts, Jennifer Aniston, and Kate Hudson. Joni married musician Mike Bruce on January 8, 2000. Joni has a daughter, Lacey Yarbrough Robinson, who was born on October 22, 1984, as well as 3 stepchildren, Whitney, Evan, and Mitchell. She also has 2 grandchildren, Vea and Doc Robinson. Ladies and gentlemen, Boaz High School Wall of Fame Class of 2015 inductee, Mrs. Joni Sanders Yarbrough Bruce.
Oh. Wow, well, that last one was a tough act to follow. What I do seems sort of unimportant compared to you, sir. But I want to thank everybody. I want to thank the committee. I want to thank Patrick for trying to get all this information out of me while I was working 14-hour days and being patient and understanding. And this is probably the first time I've been back in this building. Well, this building wasn't even here in many, many years. But I want to thank my mom and dad, Coyce and Maybelle Sanders, and my sister Melanie, and my husband, James Michael Bruce, who changed my life in 2000 for the better, and my mother-in-law, Polly. And a big thank you to Risa, who sent this in for me and nominated me, and who happens to be one of the most amazing women that I've ever known. As you can tell, I'm not prepared, and I'm more nervous up here than I was standing at the Emmys or the Academy Awards. I think that art is an important part, and it's so cool, and thank you to the culinary group. That's an art, and I see, you know, all these other guys who've done really great things, and I feel like I'm just a hairdresser. But it's been exciting. I've seen things that I would never have seen on my own. I've met wonderful people, and they're just like we are, most of them. And I just, I'm so honored, and I'm so proud to have been from Boaz, and you, I have lifetime friends, you know, still. Becky, who just reminded me that I cut her ear one time in home ec cutting her hair. So thanks for letting me practice on you, Becky. But that old adage, you can't go home, is very untrue. You can. And I thank God that I grew up in a community like this, and with the family that I have, and they now have training for what I do, because all of a sudden, I live in Atlanta, and we've become, right now we're the leader in the world of making films. It's unbelievable at the studios and all they've opened, and it's really wonderful. And this wasn't something I set out to do. I was one of those that didn't know what I wanted to do. And I too, I think, saw Mr. Ellen Hayes more than I wanted to back in the day. I knew it was something artistic, and I don't think all of us were meant or needed to go all those years to college. I found what I love and my passion, and I'm very proud of my body of work. I've worked probably over 100-something films, but this is truly appreciated, and And this community has shown me in the last 2 years, when I almost lost Mike, how much your roots and where you come from mean. And I'm humbled and so appreciative. And I'm sorry my speech wasn't better planned, but I'm very thrilled and very honored, and I think it was probably my dad that gave me the guts to get out there and try. I faked my way through a lot of it, but for some reason I wasn't afraid, and so I found where I wanted to be and found a way in the door, and I have a beautiful daughter who put up with Mom being gone for a really long time, who couldn't be here today because I have, my grandson has some hoof, mouth, and whatever disease that's very contagious. And, but a lot of the fun the last several years came through being with Mike too, who when I worked with Billy, he fell in love with Mike, of course, and we got to tour the world. Mike was Billy's drummer, and we got to tour the country for 2 years with my hero, Willie Nelson and Ray Price, and so it's been a good journey, and it continues, and I'm very proud of all this progress, and it seems infusing more of real life stuff and the arts and the culinary and the hands-on stuff. I think that we're needed to, as much as doctors and lawyers and everything. But I appreciate this so much, and thank you to my beautiful family. I love you, and it's good to be back home. Thank you.
People's Bank is my go-to place for banking.
When you deal with People's, their goal is your success.
Here at People's Bank, it's more about a relationship.
I know my bankers, and I've got their cell numbers. I just call them.
If we had been with a larger bank, we would have just been a number. We're supported 100% by People's Bank.
They're our neighbor, they're our friends. We're part of this community.
I went to People's Bank because I knew they were going to take care of me.
People's Bank treat us like we're the most important client they have.
Come experience Sand Mountain Park and Amphitheater. We're a 130-acre park filled with adventure. From our indoor aquatic center and RV park, tennis courts, and our state-of-the-art fitness center and amphitheater. We offer youth and adult sports leagues for all ages at our first-class facilities. Whether it's baseball, basketball, group exercise classes, playgrounds, or your favorite band in concert, Sand Mountain Park and Amphitheater has something for everyone. Join our effort to improve the health of our community and win the day at Sand Mountain Park.
Visit Boaz Discount Drugs and Johnson Hallmark in their new location just up the street on the corner of Highway 168 and Elizabeth Street in Boaz. Same helpful, friendly service with personal attention to each prescription. Boaz Discount Drugs is your prescription compounding specialist with custom medications to fit your needs. And Johnson's Hallmark is your source for all occasion cards and gift items. Marshall DeKalb Electric Cooperative is a proud supporter of our community and our local schools, academics, and athletics. Best of luck to all our local teams throughout the season. Our mission at Marshall DeKalb Electric Cooperative is to provide the most reliable electrical service at the lowest possible rate. We strive to achieve our mission with quality and reliable service and a commitment to our consumer needs. We want to be a beacon in each community that we serve.
Ladies and gentlemen, inaugural class inductee, Mr. Harold Chitwood. Harold Chitwood was born on August 5, 1930, to Herman and Demile Chitwood. Mrs. Chitwood was more commonly known by her nickname, Micey. Harold had an older sister, Gail. Harold's parents were teachers at Union School south of Boaz. After spending elementary years as a student there, he went on to attend Walnut Grove. His family then moved to Boaz, where he attended Boaz High School at age 13. Harold was a three-sport athlete at BHS, where he participated in football, baseball, and basketball. He was a teammate of fellow inductee Olin Hayes on the 1946-47 BHS State Tournament basketball team. Harold had his best game of the season in the Pirates State quarterfinal loss to Murphy High School of Mobile. He graduated from Boaz High School in 1947 at the ripe old age of 16. Harold furthered his education at Snead Junior College and was a member of the basketball team at Snead. He moved on to the University of Alabama to study business. He was one quarter from finishing his degree when he found out he was going to be drafted. He decided to join the United States Air Force and served 4 years of active duty. Harold served in the Korean War and flew over 100 missions as an F-86 jet fighter pilot. Here is Harold earning his wings. In this photo of airplanes flying on a mission over a Korean mountain range, Harold is flying the jet shown at the bottom of the picture. When his tour of duty in Korea was up, Harold returned home. On June 12, 1954, he married the former Fern Nash of Gadsden. Harold returned to the University of Alabama and completed his bachelor's degree in business administration. He decided that he would open a local floral business in Boaz, so he attended Auburn University and took classes in horticulture. Harold and Fern returned to Boaz and operated Harold's Florist for 3 years. In 1957, Harold got the opportunity to join Cotton Producers Association as the poultry plant superintendent at the new plant that had opened in Boaz. In 1966, after several promotions at the Boaz plant, which had now become Gold-Kissed, Harold moved the family to Atlanta, where he was placed in charge of all poultry plants for the company. 5 years later, he moved back to Boaz as division manager. Harold continued to move up the ladder at Gold-Kissed. In 1972, the family moved back to Atlanta. After numerous promotions, Harold was named Executive Vice President of the Poultry Group and was made a member of the Gold-Kissed Executive Committee. In 1989, he assumed the position of Chief Operating Officer, and in 1991, he was named CEO and Chairman of the Executive Committee for Gold-Kissed Incorporated, which ranked at number 389 in the Fortune 500. While CEO of Gold-Kissed Incorporated, he was Chairman of the Board of Directors for many Gold-Kissed subsidiaries. Harold continued to lead Gold-Kissed for several more years before he retired in 1995. Harold served on many agribusiness, finance, chamber, and civic boards. He is a past president of the Atlanta Area Council of Boy Scouts. He has been a member of the Board of Directors for Nations Bank of Georgia, the Georgia Chamber of Commerce, the Atlanta Chamber of Commerce, the National Council of Farmer Cooperatives, and the Alfred C. Tepfer International Trading, headquartered in Hamburg, Germany. Harold served on the Board of Trustees for Truett McConnell College in Cleveland, Georgia, and is a past president of the National Broiler Council and Georgia Poultry Federation. Harold and Fern returned to Marshall County upon his retirement, and they reside in Albertville. He currently serves as a member of the Board of Directors of Tomco Equipment in Lawrenceville, Georgia, the Municipal Utilities Board of Albertville, and the Snead State Community College Foundation Board. Harold and Fern have 3 sons, Wade, Wesley, and Weldon, and 2 grandsons. Jason is a junior at Florida State University, and Michael is 9 years old. Ladies and gentlemen, Boaz High School Wall of Fame Class of 2015 inductee, Mr. Harold Chitwood.
Well, when I finished my missions in Korea, I thought I'd done pretty good to get a DFC, which is a Distinguished Flying Cross, and 3 air medals, but I don't hold a candle to this colonel back here. So congratulations to you, sir. As you saw back on the film there, I grew up at Union and Aurora. I plowed a mule many days for 50 cents a day, picked cotton, chopped cotton, hoed corn. So I grew up although my mother and father were teachers, I grew up working in the farm before I came to Boaz. I'd like to thank you for serving chicken, because that's what made my living for me for 38 and a half years. And I can tell you that the chicken changed this mountain. I don't know what the mountain would be like without the fact that we have poultry has grown substantially since I started in the 50s with the poultry industry. I guess I feel like that I maybe made 3 major accomplishments in my life. This is one of them over here. Wife and boys, family. I feel like that I had a major accomplishment to earn a pair of wings in the U.S. Air Force, and also to become CEO of Gold Kist. I was fortunate that at the time I joined Gold Kist, it was a fairly small company. I believe Gold Kist at that time was slaughtering like 240,000 chickens a week. When I retired, we were up to 15 million. Had 100 farm supply stores, had distribution centers from Cincinnati to Miami. We were quite large in fertilizer, all kind of chemicals and so forth that's used in agriculture. I've been very fortunate to serve in many ways, such as the Chambers of Commerce in Georgia, served as president of Boy Scouts of Atlanta. I did not make Eagle because some of you know Chalmers Weathers. He was our scout leader, and he retired as scout leader, and I needed 5 more merit badges to get my Eagle, and our scout troop voted here in Boaz at that time. But I continued to serve in the scout area for a good many times. I'd like to say that the Lord's been very good to me, physically and so forth, and guided me in many ways. I have said that some of you may have read the book, God Was My Co-Pilot. Several times God was my pilot in some pretty tough situations. I'd like to thank the people that nominated me. I feel like this is probably the greatest honor that I've ever received. I want to commend the other people that are on this panel today. Thank you very much.
At Piggly Wiggly, we work hard to deliver the very best to you and your family. We offer only the top quality Black Canyon Angus beef, Swift natural fresh pork, grade A Kegel fresh chicken, smoked, processed, and frozen meat items. One of the most popular promotions at Piggly Wiggly is our Pick 5 meat program. Purchase a single pack of meat and pay our everyday low price, or purchase 5 packages marked with the bright red Pick 5 label for just $19.99. You get the best of both worlds, great quality meats and a super low price. You'll always find low prices throughout Piggly Wiggly.
At the Driving Factor, we know you're looking for a reliable vehicle.
Whether you're heading to work,
headed to play,
or taking the grandkids to the beach.
Are we there yet?
At the Driving Factor, every vehicle comes with a warranty for the length of the contract.
And you get a Carfax with every purchase.
We make everything easy, from the application process, the approval, or to the payments, either online or in-store. At the Driving Factor, we're not your ordinary buy here, pay here dealer.
Established in 1946, Kirkpatrick Concrete has a tradition of top quality products and service. They now have 11 North Alabama locations to meet this area's demand for quality ready-mix concrete. For your next project, your friends at Kirkpatrick Concrete are just down the road.
Ladies and gentlemen, inaugural class inductee, Dr. L.F. Corley Jr. Luther Franklin Corley Jr. was born in Boaz on December 4, 1923. Luther's parents were Caroline Ethel Stewart Corley and Luther Franklin Corley Sr. Mr. Corley Sr. was called Professor because he had taught school in Boaz for 32 years. He was also mayor of Boaz from 1956 to 60. Corley Elementary School is named in his honor. The Corleys also had a daughter, Esther Jane Corley Owen. Luther Jr. played football and served as a basketball manager at Boaz High School. He was a member of the Beta Club and Library Club. He was selected as the cutest boy in his senior class Who's Who. Luther graduated from Boaz High in 1941. He went on to achieve a Bachelor of Science degree from the University of Alabama. He enrolled in Thomas Jefferson Medical School in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, and graduated in 1947. Luther then interned at Cooper Hospital in Camden, New Jersey for 2 years. During his time in New Jersey, Luther met and fell in love with Margaret Claire Robb. They were married on October 1, 1949. Luther and Claire moved back to his hometown of Boaz, and Dr. Corley entered the United States Marine Corps. He served with the 1st Marine Division in Japan and Korea during the Korean War. After the war, Luther received the prestigious United Nations Service Medal. This photo shows him receiving his medal. Luther is shown first row, 4th from the right. After completing his service to our country, Luther set up his medical practice in Boaz on Westman Avenue. Dr. Corley became the family doctor to literally hundreds of Boaz citizens over the years. He helped establish and was a member of the staff of the Boaz Albertville Hospital, now Marshall Medical Center South. He served as chief of staff a number of times. Dr. Corley was president and vice president of the Marshall County Medical Society and many other committees. He also served on the Alabama State Board of Medical Examiners. In addition to being a physician to so many, Dr. Corley also served his community in various ways. He was a pillar of St. Paul United Methodist Church, where he served as a trustee and a member of various committees. Luther also coached youth baseball and was the team doctor for Boaz High School athletics for 45 years. He belonged to the local VFW, and he served as a Cub Scout den master. The Corleys have 2 sons. Dr. Luther Corley III, also known as Trey, was born in 1952. He is a specialist in pulmonology and asthma and practices in Huntsville. Dr. Tommy Corley was born in 1954. He is a doctor of internal medicine and practices in Gadsden. They are both graduates of Boaz High School. The Corleys have 3 grandchildren, grandsons Evan and Franklin, and granddaughter Claire. On August 27, 1998, the Marshall County Board of Education, the Boaz Quarterback Club, and Boaz High School Principal Randall Morton bestowed the highest of honors on the longtime team doctor. Prior to the Boaz Arab football game that night, Pirates Stadium was renamed in honor of Dr. Corley. From that point on, the stadium has been called Dr. L.F. Corley Jr. Stadium. It is one of the most recognizable facilities in Boaz. Dr. Corley was a member of the Marshall County, State of Alabama, and American Medical Societies. He was also a member of the American Academy of Family Practice. Dr. Corley Jr. helped many people maintain healthy lives and set a very high bar for family medical practitioners who have followed him here in the city of Boaz. His skills and abilities, his bedside manner, and his love for his town were legendary. Dr. Corley passed away on September 17, 2011, at the age of 87. Ladies and gentlemen, Boaz High School Wall of Fame Class of 2015 inductee, Dr. Luther F. Corley, Jr.
Dr. Luther Corley III is accepting on behalf of his dad.
Wow. On behalf of Dad, Mom, Tom, Dad's grandchildren who loved him dearly, my wonderful wife and myself, we want to thank you for this opportunity and this recognition of one of my heroes. Growing up, it seemed like Dad worked 24/7 all the time, and looking back, I don't know how he found time to do everything on this show, much less everything else he did. He did it by having priorities. His priority was his family, his church, his profession, and the people of Boaz, in particular the school system of Boaz. The hours he spent working with Mr. Hayes as a trustee, and the days that I would see his car pull up in the parking lot at school and I'd think, oh, what did I do? But he was meeting with Mr. Hayes to discuss other issues more important than his children's behavior. The hundreds, if not thousands, of physicals and athletic events he went to just showed his love of the school and the community. I know he would want to thank the people that have provided this opportunity for acknowledgement. I know he would give a special thanks to Claire Corley, Mom, as she was enabled him to do all the many things he was capable of doing. We appreciate it. We look forward to it. Dad loved Boaz. We love Boaz. And God bless Boaz. And let's get some river rats tonight. Thank you.
Hey folks, Tim Witt at Sand Mountain Toyota. Our goal is to be Sand Mountain's pre-owned vehicle destination. We strive to keep vehicles for every budget, and all of our vehicles go through a strict multi-point inspection by our award-winning service department. And don't forget, we're paying top dollar for your vehicle. We want to buy your vehicle. Sand Mountain Toyota, Highway 431 Albertville, or sandmountaintoyota.com.
Your local Foodland Market. Your store for everyday low prices and weekly specials with savings on every aisle and friendly customer service throughout the store. We sell only the best USDA inspected meats. Our trained meat cutters offer fresh cut meats to your specification. Our fruits and vegetables are always fresh, quality and variety you deserve every day. Your local Foodland Market, where savings plus service plus selection equals satisfaction.
Foodland, your football tailgating headquarters.
Screwdriver.
Screwdriver.
Pliers.
Pliers.
Phone. Care can be distracting.
Phone.
That's why our new Whirlpool Smart Range lets you care smarter with control from anywhere. So life doesn't revolve around your range. Give me that Phillips screwdriver, would you, kiddo? Every day, care. Whirlpool.
Visit the helpful, knowledgeable staff at Bond's Appliance on Gunner Avenue in Gunnersville.
Since 1952, Wilkes Tire and Battery Service in Albertville has been the best place to take your vehicle for service you can trust. The Wilkes family takes pride in carrying on a tradition of providing great service, working with integrity, and giving back to the community. For tires, batteries, auto services, and more, choose people you can trust. At Wilkes Tire and Battery Service, we get you started and keep you going.
Ladies and gentlemen, inaugural class inductee, Mr. Joel Dickinson. Joel Eugene Dickinson was born in Albertville on November 14, 1952, to James and Olga Dickinson. Joel has an older brother, Jimmy, who graduated from Boaz High School in 1963. Joel's dad passed away during his senior year of high school. Joel attended Boaz schools and entered Boaz High School in the fall of 1968. While at BHS, he held offices in Student Council, the Science Club, and the Key Club. He was also a member of the Beta Club, Spanish Club, and Mu Alpha Theta. Joel was selected as most likely to succeed in his senior Who's Who. He was involved with the basketball team as a manager for Coach C.K. Gant's squad. Joel finished his high school days as a National Merit Scholarship finalist, and he was the valedictorian of the Boaz High School class of 1971. Joel went to Auburn University in the fall of 1971. He went through Auburn through a cooperative education program where one quarter was spent on campus, then the next quarter was spent at an industrial site practicing what he learned. Much of that was done at the Savannah River Nuclear Plant in Aiken, South Carolina. He graduated from Auburn University in the spring of 1976 with a degree in chemical engineering. While at Auburn, Joel met Brenda McCullough from Enterprise, Alabama at the Auburn Christian Student Center. They fell in love and married in Enterprise on March 20th, 1976. After graduating from Auburn, Joel and Brenda moved to Houston, Texas, where he went to work for Amoco Oil. He worked for Amoco for 19 years. The Dickinsons have 3 children. Daughter Catherine was born on September 14, 1980. Son Joe was born on March 21, 1983. And son Philip was born on March 28, 1984. Because of Joel's job, the Dickinsons moved quite a bit. They have lived on 3 continents, and Joel has worked on 5. In 1990, they moved to London, where they were based for 3 years. After the work on the pipeline in England, Mr. Dickinson went to work in Western Siberia, Russia, where Amoco had a project in the works. He worked there in 1994 and 95. The project was not completed, however, because they couldn't get an agreement with the Russian government. Joel shifted to the Caspian projects in Azerbaijan, Georgia, Turkey, and Russia. This project was to move out the oil projects offshore. The first pipeline went through Russia through Chechnya. The second went through Azerbaijan through Georgia to the port of Supsa. They never finished the third because BP bought out Amoco. Joel then went to work for ExxonMobil from 2002 to 2004 in Moscow, Russia. He helped engineer a project offshore Japan at Sakhalin Island, a haven for endangered species. Joel's job has taken him all over the world. In fact, he has lived or worked in Boaz, Auburn, Houston, Chicago, New Orleans, Canada, the Virgin Islands, Egypt, Belgium, Turkmenistan, Azerbaijan, Russia, England, Jordan, Venezuela, Trinidad, Turkey, Switzerland, Jordan, Kazakhstan, Indonesia, and Nigeria. Even so, he has never forgotten his roots. For many years, Mr. and Mrs. Dickinson endowed scholarships for deserving Boaz High School students to Snead State Community College. Joel suffers from a condition called myasthenia gravis. It is a neuromuscular disease that leads to fluctuating muscle weakness and fatigue. He doesn't let it slow him down, however. Family always has been and remains a top priority in Joel's life. Here is a recent family photo. Left to right, daughter-in-law Leslie, son Joe holding granddaughter Naomi, Joel, Brenda, son Phil, granddaughter Hannah, daughter-in-law Emily holding granddaughter Alice, sister-in-law Pam McCullough, grandson Owen, granddaughter Lydia, daughter Catherine, and son-in-law Brent Simmons. Ladies and gentlemen, Boaz High School Wall of Fame Class of 2015 inductee, Mr. Joel Dickinson.
I guess we're on. This is a tremendous honor, and not just in the receiving of it, but in the path that it took. The fact that one of the other inductees is the guy who actually nominated me for it, Alan Hayes, and the fact that the committee looked at the resume and said, well, that's pretty good. I spent my 40th birthday in London and my 50th in Moscow, and I forgot my 50th birthday while I was there. Fortunately, there were people around to remind me because we had just been meeting with the foreign ministry about getting a construction permit for one of the Russia projects. And we got back to the hotel, and there was a tray of hors d'oeuvres in my room. And I called downstairs and I said, well, you know, these are really very nice, but somebody's going to miss this stuff, and you've delivered it to the wrong room. And they said, Mr. Dickinson, it's your birthday. These are compliments of the hotel. And I say that because we have funded about a half dozen different scholarships around the country in different universities, and the big money will always go to David Lipscomb University. That's my wife's alma mater and my daughter's alma mater, as well it should. But every year we would get a letter from Sneed State, whether it was junior college or community college, reminding us that somebody from Boaz was going to get a start there in their college education. As well we should. My first year at Auburn wasn't paid for by me. It was some guy from Alcoa had funded a scholarship, and there was a grant in aid. So my first year was paid by others. Why shouldn't we do that for the people who are coming up behind us? And then every once in a while, something really good happens, and you see what those people have become as well. I'm very near the end of my career now in oil and gas, and I may be retired forcibly by the onset of the new disease. But until that happens, not only do we have the memories looking back, but we should be able to help out the class of 2016 and beyond. And if we can do anything to inspire that, well, good for us. This is indeed a great honor for me and for my family who are with me today and the ones who were unable to do that. Thank you all, thank the committee, thank the guys that nominated us very much.
It's quiet now, but in a few hours the stadium will be full. The players will get dressed and prepare themselves for the challenges that lay ahead. Players dedicating themselves to succeeding on the field. Success begins with having a plan, along with the discipline to execute it. Just like the plan that begins with choosing the right financial partner for life. That's People's Independent Bank, where service, solutions, and smart advice are the foundation of our bank. Isn't it time you win? People's Independent Bank. You'll like banking with us.
Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
With gas prices and inflation at an all-time high, Alexander Ford understands it's tough out there. We do not want to be just some dealership, we want to be your dealership. For all your sales, parts, and service needs, we believe we can save you money. We have new inventory on the way, a fully stocked parts department, and an award-winning service department.
Alexander Ford has been family owned and operated for over 50 years in Boaz. We want to be a part of your family.
Since 1956 and through 3 generations, the C.A. Langford Company has provided crushed limestone, sand, asphalt, and more, from large commercial projects to small jobs and residential needs. For products and services information, call 582-5723 or visit their informative website, calangford.company.
Twilight Monument in Boaz is your hometown dealer, and they'll be there for you when you need them, just as they've done for hundreds of families over the past 37 years. You can depend on Jerry and Maxine Battles at Twilight Monument Company.
Ladies and gentlemen, inaugural class inductee, Mr. Alan Hayes. Alan Hayes was born on May 10, 1927, to O.N. and Ella Hayes. He was the 7th of 8 siblings and grew up in Horton. The family moved to Boaz when Alan was 12. He served in the United States Navy in 1945 and 46 as World War II came to a close. He returned to Boaz High School to complete his schooling and graduated in 1947. Allen was a star on the 1946-47 BHS State Tournament basketball team that is considered one of the two best teams in Boaz High School history. They lost in the state quarterfinals to Murphy High School of Mobile by a single point. Hayes was named honorable mention all-tournament. After graduating from Boaz High School, Allen attended Snead Junior College and played basketball there. He went on to receive his bachelor's degree in education from Jacksonville State. Hayes furthered his education at Vanderbilt's Peabody College, where he achieved his MA degree. On June 3, 1954, Allen married the love of his life, Jimmy. They have 3 children, Drew, born in 1957, Millie, born in 1963, and Demra, born in 1969. Allen began his teaching career immediately after college. He served high schools in Alabama for 8 years, teaching physical education and social studies. Coach Hayes spent time at Belgreen High School in Franklin County, Catawba High School in Morgan County, and Albertville High School. He coached basketball, track, and baseball during his teaching stints in Alabama. After 8 years of teaching in Alabama, Allen and Jimmy moved the family to Pensacola, Florida, where he taught and coached at Ferry Pass High School for the next 7.5 years. Midway through the 1966-67 school year, Mr. Hayes took the position of principal of Boaz Middle School. After spending 2.5 years as the BMS principal, Mr. Hayes moved up to the principal's position at Boaz High School, where he remained for the following 22 years. In 1973, Boaz High School achieved accreditation with the Southern Association of Colleges and Schools, also known as SACS. This was a tremendous achievement in the life of the high school because it established Boaz High School as a nationally accredited institution for the first time. Mr. Hayes had the opportunity over the course of his tenure at BHS to impact the lives of literally thousands of students. Under his direction, the academic and athletic programs grew exponentially. He oversaw construction projects and worked hand in hand with the Marshall County Board of Education to push for excellency out of his faculty and students. On graduation nights, he handed thousands of students their diplomas for finishing their educations at Boaz High School. Allen retired from public education in 1992. Over the years, he has been bestowed the greatest honors in the city of Boaz. He has been named Boaz Civitan of the Year, Boaz Educator of the Year, and the Boaz Chamber of Commerce's Citizen of the Year. Mr. Hayes has 8 grandchildren, including 2 sets of twin girls that were born the same year. Here is a recent family photo. Front row, left to right, grandson Micah and his wife Amber, granddaughters Meredith and Morgan, Josh Dillon, granddaughter Malia Hayes Dillon holding great-granddaughter Annie, Allen, granddaughters Emily, Catherine, and Rebecca Kennedy. Back row, left to right, son Drew with his wife Susan, daughter Demra, Kyle Turnbow, granddaughter Megan Hayes Turnbow holding great-granddaughter Hannah, daughter Millie, and her husband Phil Kennedy. Not pictured is new great-grandson Hudson Turnbow. Sadly, Mrs. Hayes passed away in 2010. Mr. Hayes is the longest-serving principal in the history of Boaz High School. His legacy lives on today through the hallowed halls of this great institution. Ladies and gentlemen, Boaz High School Wall of Fame Class of 2015 inductee, Mr. Allen Hayes.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Mr. Grant. Thank you, Dr. Isley. Thank you. I feel terribly inadequate to be among these group. It's amazing to see people like Joel Dickinson from Texas. I always felt inferior to Joel because I knew he was a lot smarter than I was, and the others also. I want to thank Dr. Isley, Mr. Minnick, Patrick Williams, and Ashley Walls for getting this program off the ground. And I really want to thank the culinary class for the great food we had today. It was great. My son, Drew, is with us. Drew has 5 children, twins. His twins are freshmen at the University of Tennessee. His other 3 children are through college in great career tracks, and all married and have 3 children among them. My oldest daughter, Millie, had a career as a CPA before she started her family, and she has 3 children, including twins. Her twins are freshmen at Auburn. Her oldest daughter is a senior at Auburn and has been accepted in medical school at UAB. My youngest daughter, Demra, worked for the Army for a few years as a education specialist, and the last 9 years she has worked for the Air Force as an editor. Recently, she has gone to work for the CDC in Atlanta as a writer/editor. Ms. Dot Brasher is one of my guests. Ms. Brasher taught math at Boaz High School for 23 years. And 8 previous years, she was teaching in the elementary schools in Boaz. And Ms. Bonifay Hicks, she taught American history at the high school for 26 years. And her husband, Dennis, was a football coach at Boaz High. Most of those years, 16 years, he was the head football coach. I was a student at Boaz schools for 5.5 years. Principal of Boaz Middle School for 2.5 years, and of course the 22 years here at the high school. And surprisingly, I still have 2 friends. And they're with us today. Bill Emerson and his wife Zadie. Bill, as far as I can determine, is the second oldest or possibly the oldest living graduate of Boaz High School. But either way, he's ancient. But I want to hasten to add before we get in trouble that his wife Zadie is 31 years younger than Bill now. So is that all right, Zadie? You know, I did not decide after I had retired that I had the best job in the world. I knew it from day one, and every day going down to Boaz High School was the greatest job in the world. This is a great honor for me to be inaugurated and inducted in the Wall of Fame. But really, the honor should go to all the teachers I had the opportunity of working with. The teachers go into the classroom, teach 6 periods a day, maintain high academic standards, high expectations of student achievement, and I was just in housekeeping. So they deserve the honor I'm receiving today. There's a number of people I want to thank. My wife, and all the parents and students that attended Boaz High School while I was there, and the 2,500 graduates students who graduated from Boaz High School during my years at Boaz High School. Also, I want to thank the great, well, it's said that that a great quarterback can carry a football team on his shoulders on any given Saturday. And I want to thank all the great teachers that I had the privilege of working with at Boaz High School for carrying me on their shoulder for 22 years. They were wonderful. So it's a great honor for me to be inducted in the Wall of Fame, and I appreciate what is happening at Boaz High School now. It's all wonderful. I can tell you that the leadership in Boaz, you'd be so proud to know the great things are happening in the school system of Boaz. Thank you.
Was that awesome? It's good. So I want to say congratulations, inductees. We are going to close and head up to the student assembly.
Horizon Communications' archives of local high school sports and school programs now spans decades and generations, covering multiple sports and programs. DVDs of these memorable events make the perfect gift for any occasion, and the cost is simple and affordable. The first game or program DVD is $20, the second game or program is $15, and then any others are only $10 each, all on their own individual DVD. Pre-1990 games converted from coaches' films are as low as $5 per game. We have hundreds of games from the late 50s on up. Give us a call at 256-582-7373, message us on Facebook, or email mharden@horizoncommunications.net to check the availability of your desired event. Let Horizon Communications help you with the gift of video to be treasured for a lifetime. Since 1992, Horizon Communications has brought you community channel programming. As we're preparing for another season of high school sports, we'd like to take this opportunity to thank our many loyal community-minded sponsors who've supported Horizon's local origination programming through the years. We encourage our local viewers to patronize our local sponsors and let them know how much you enjoy Horizon's community channel broadcast. For information on joining our team of community channel broadcast sponsors, give Mike Harden a call at 256-582-7373.